Y'all already know how it go. Y'all already know how it go, man. That didn't go well. It's your boy Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. As always. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the page. We got a lot to get to today. Aaron Rodgers is back, and the salary cap's going up. How does that affect what the Bears want to do here? Got a poll live over on Twitter. Or I'm sorry, live in the community tab, not over on Twitter. Live in the community tab asking the question, should the Bears be looking to let A-Rob walk with the salary cap going up? And then, of course, breaking down last night's Bulls loss, the health of these Bulls coming back, when we're going to see these guys in the building, kind of coming from a positive note. After a 5-game losing streak, dog. After a 5-game losing streak, there's no reason for us to come off so upset. You know what I'm saying? After a 5-game losing streak, there's no reason for us to come off so upset. We're already upset. We're already down. How do we fix it? Let's break that down as well. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, because we do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. We don't want you to miss a day. So make sure you hit that bell as well. It's the only channel that's talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure you get in tune with us, man. How y'all feeling today? We got an exciting show ahead of us. We've got an exciting day ahead of us. Not gonna lie to you, this is one of them days where the outside's lying a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Where the outside is, you look out there and you like, man, it look like it's about 70 degrees out there. And you walk out there and you like, it is a solid 4. Now it's probably about 30 degrees, but I was a little chilled, is what I'm saying when I walked outside this morning. I was a little chilled when I walked outside, a little bit upset. You know what I'm saying? Not too much, but a little bit upset. Shout out to everybody pulling up. We got Marcus Couch in here early. Clayton in the chat. Everybody in here, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Robert Schwartz in the building. Robert, was good? Torian in the building. Appreciate that love, man. New episode of Locked On Bulls is out now. Go check that out as well. Also, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We've got a giveaway happening at 13,000 over here. Giveaway happening at 13,000. So get in tune with us on that as well. Let's get into this Aaron Rodgers news, right? Let's get into this Aaron Rodgers news a little bit, because it's as a Bears fan, right? You have to really ask yourself, what does Aaron Rodgers returning to this team do to you? What does Aaron Rodgers returning to the Packers? If you guys haven't heard, the news is out there. Aaron Rodgers returning to the Packers for 4 years, $200 million. $200 million, $153 million guaranteed, making him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Now, he is on more of a team-friendly deal because of how much of it is guaranteed. But Aaron Rodgers is returning to the Packers for 4 more years. And so, initially, right, I felt that dread. I felt that, oh, God. Rodgers, 5 more years or 4 more years, dog? Come on. What are we talking about? We got to deal with this guy for 4 more years. We thought it was over, right, Bears fans? We thought we were coming to the end of it. We thought we were coming to the, all right, at least he'll be out of the division. We won't have to deal with that. We won't have to worry about him. But then it hit me, right? Kind of what we talked about. We've talked about it before on this show. And it might have been on the early morning show as well. But we've talked about it before. How are the Green Bay Packers in our way? Right? How are the Green Bay Packers stopping us from doing what we want to do? The Bears got so many problems here. The Bears have so many issues here. The Bears have shot themselves in the foot so many times here that I had to really dial back. You know what I'm saying? Like, fam, hey, and just to say, you good, bro? You have a genuinely concerned look right now. At first, I was, dog. At first, I was like, man, are you telling me 4 more years of this? I got to deal with Packers fans on me for 4 more years. But here's the thing, right? If you fix what you can fix, you don't have to deal with it. If you fix what you can control, you don't have to deal with it. And here's the thing, right? The year that the Bears went, what was that? 18. 18. As we got Stephon and Don entering the building.
What's happening? What's good? What's good? What's good?
Hold on. Let me see if I can't hear you because I can't hear you, or if I can't hear you because, oh, nope, that's on me. Hold on. Let's hit it with the bow right there. What's good, my boy?
What's happening? What's happening?
Aaron Rodgers is back. $200 million.
Yeah, man. I seen that, man. You know, good for him. More M's, more life. But you know, couple years down the line, I don't want to hear why we can't build a team around him. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he's taking so it's a lot of guaranteed money, right? So that doesn't something about how it's structured, and it's probably all up front, doesn't hit the cap. It's more of a cap-friendly deal. He's going to be able to re-sign his guys. He's going to have Devontae Adams there. By the way, Devontae Adams is still going to be there. He's still going to be able to – you're still going to be able to go get him more weapons. You're still going to be able to – you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So, like, the deal works out for the Packers. And here's the thing, right? As the Packers, like, why did we the biggest annoyance is like, why did we wait so long? Like, you just had to stroke his ego a little bit. And I said his ego. You had to stroke his ego a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we that's the only thing for me. Like, what are we doing? Aaron's the girl at the party that or the girl that you're dating that you got to tell she's pretty all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's what Aaron wants. You know, tell me I'm pretty. Yeah, tell me I'm pretty again. Like, I just told you was pretty. So, like, in that, it is what it is. I've expected Aaron Rodgers to return to the Packers for some time now. It was fun to mess with them while they were upset, but I've expected Aaron Rodgers to return there for some time. Like,
what's up, Robert?
Now it's about what can the Bears do to make it so that Aaron Rodgers isn't a factor. Because realistically, we play them twice a year. If you lose those 2 games and you win the other 4 in the division, guess what? You still got a good shot at winning the division. But you have to win the other games outside of that. You have to have a good enough team to be able to win the other games that are around that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Packers haven't stopped us from doing things. Matt Nagy being our head coach stopped us from winning. Mitchell Trubisky being our quarterback stopped us from winning. Our offensive line playing poorly stopped us from winning. Our defensive schemes stopped us from winning. There's nothing about Aaron Rodgers that stopped us from winning. Now, he might have stopped us from winning that game when he gets out there and he yells, "I own you." He essentially embarrasses the organization. That may be true. But there's nothing about Aaron Rodgers that has kept the Bears out of the playoffs. Like the video if you agree, man. What are your thoughts, Steph?
I mean, yeah, like this deal doesn't go out and then stop the Bears from making moves. I mean, because there's people out there for the Bears to sign. It's the Bears can still come up and try to field a good enough team to where they can make the playoffs. And Rodgers doesn't stop you from doing that. I mean, even if you just look at the names on the market, and I fully expect for Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus to field a great team. Now the pieces that you go out and get, time will tell because we've seen a lot of people getting franchise tagged. I mean, if you look at it, Chris Godwin still looking for a long-term deal. If not, he's gonna be franchise tagged. The Chiefs tagging Orlando Brown over Tyrann Mathieu, which technically, hey, that could be a name for the Bears. Right there on defense. I mean, Aaron Rodgers does not stop you from doing anything. Matt Nagy stopped you. Trubisky stopped you. It's all about finding the right guys, like Poe said, finding that balance. And I fully expect, with the way that they've been talking, with the people that's in the room, everything that Poe and Eberflus has set up to this point, they'll do that.
I hope so. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you hope that this franchise is able to figure it out. You hope that this franchise is able to make those moves to move the team in the right direction. You hope that this new group of head coach, ownership, whatever it is, or not ownership, front office is able to move the team in the right direction, right? And you got to ask the question when you're talking about the Bears of where do you make your moves to adjust now to what the league does? Where do you make your moves to adjust to what Aaron Rodgers has just done? Where do you make the move to adjust to, okay, yeah, we've got a young QB. We've got a young offensive line at the tackle position. We've got a very inexperienced right now right tackle and left tackle in Tevin Jenkins and Larry Borom. Can we shore something up with those guys? Where do you move to in the draft to find those pieces to put in play? You know what I'm saying? Like now it's about adjusting to what the Packers have done, because here's the thing. When you're going to face the Packers, probably in the playoffs, if you can get there, by the way, if you can get there, the Packers are beatable this year. Clearly we saw that with Jimmy G. How do you get to the point where you're there? How do you get to the point where you're there? The Packers were a beatable team, but here's the thing. You're not at San Francisco's level yet. Does San Francisco have a stud QB? Absolutely not. But you're not at San Francisco's level yet. So you have to find a way to get to that level to even get into the playoffs, to be in those situations, to be even playing those games. That has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers. This is to me, today, of course, Aaron Rodgers is going to try and make it all about him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just playing. But as Bears fans, the Bears have to focus on what they can do. And I mean, going into that, man, the cap is going up tremendously. The cap actually ended up dropping, right, last season to 186, I believe.
That's up to 208, right?
And the cap is jumping up now to, oh man, I ain't dropped that in the chat. My bad. The cap is jumping up now to $208 million.
Yeah, and then it's gonna jump up again.
Yeah.
Next season.
Yeah. So how do you find a way to maybe keep some of the pieces you have in this building and get that nice mix of, okay, we've got that, we've got this, now let's go out and add this, right? Is that because now with the cap going up, to me, the question on the table is, should the Bears look to keep A-Rob? Should the Bears try to re-sign him to a long-term deal? Should the Bears try to rekindle that relationship? Because what a lot of people forget, if you sign A-Rob to a 4-year deal, by the end of that, A-Rob's 32. He's not old.
Still mad young.
He's 28 years old right now. So like, how do you find a way? Do you go in and say, hey, listen, let's franchise tag, or not franchise tag, let's try to get a deal done with A-Rob. And let's see if we can find some other pieces around it. Because at a minimum, right? At a minimum, you know that he can play consistent if you get him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And everything we've seen is that they absolutely worked him out of the game plan.
I mean, well, it's like I've been saying when we first brought this up. I mean, if you bring him back, it's all about that constant communication. If I'm the Bears, I sign him to a 3-year, 85 ish.
Yeah.
Million dollar deal. I think that's a nice enough deal for him. You know, because the cap is going up, so you want some other pieces in the room. I mean, Von Miller has a ton of suitors. I mean, you got some corners on the market. So I mean, you got I mean, what if you do go out and get your left tackle? Because I feel like the Bears have good enough pieces in the room on to me on the O line. You just gotta put them pieces in the right position. If that's moving Tevin Jenkins back to his normal position, you go out and you grab that left tackle. Like that they're not far off. So it's just like I'm gonna take a kid reference. You gotta get these dudes in the room. If you do. Absolutely if you do.
You definitely got to get him in the room, because like, and I get what a lot of people are saying. Like the interesting thing with this Bears team, right, is that you don't feel that it's like, I can't believe we don't have these guys consistently getting the job done. And so to me, like, is A-Rob consistency? You know, is Tevin Jenkins going to be consistency? Is Justin Fields going to be consistency? That's the Bears' biggest problem. That's the Bears' biggest problem coming into this. There is no consistency with the guys that are in the room here. And that sucks, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? But like, with the cap going up, in theory, you could sign your number one receiver. Now, I don't know if he's going to be at that $18 million mark. You know what I'm saying? You might have to work something out with him, especially after the season he had last year. But you could sign your number one receiver and go out and get you a left tackle. Now the question is, where do you find that guy? Or here's the other thing you got to ask yourself, right? Is wide receiver important to the Bears right now? We heard Ryan Poles talk about wanting to have that number one receiver, wanting to have that guy in the building that Justin Fields can rely on, that safety blanket that Justin Fields can rely on. Is he that? Because I feel like if he's that, he already understands the organization. He already understands what's going on here. He already knows the players on this team. This could be a very amicable relationship for both guys. And you can sign A-Rob and still go out and get you a left tackle.
Yep. I mean, I've all the names we mentioned before they was talking about re-signing Chris Godwin. I mean, like nobody, A-Rob was at the top of the list for me. I mean, if nothing else, the go-to guy for me is the dude like when it's third down, I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
Like, heck of hot water, I'm coming to you, and we're gonna try to get this first. We're gonna try to get this study. He's already been in the building. They just didn't have enough reps together, which is why I keep coming back to what Eberflus and A-Rob got out of that talk. Like, look, hey, one, are you trying to come back here? If so, yes. All right, this is what I'm expecting out of you. All right, cool. Well, I just need this from you, because he obviously wasn't getting that from Nagy. So it's not like it's not like the dude is washed. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he was also like the chemistry that he had with Mooney, you would at least expect him to want to see that from A-Rob. John Cooper is a nice option. Again, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If they don't go out and re-sign A-Rob, I'm cool with Coop. I'm cool with Coop.
Cooper who?
Amari Cooper.
Oh, Amari Cooper. Oh, I thought you were talking about
Cool.
Cooper Kupp. I was like, how we gonna get him?
Hey, we traded everybody, the janitor's mama.
I was like,
Nah,
the Super Bowl champion? That's the dude you want to go get?
nah. Yeah, actually, we do got to distinguish who the real Coop is because it's too many of that going around. But nah, yeah, I would. Hey, look, I mean that's cool, but A-Rob know the system. Number two is if you get Coop in the room,
Nobody really knows the system. It's an entirely new system.
yeah, yeah, that's the thing too. Entirely new system. What my thing is, what is Coop's asking price? I bet pretty much it's gonna be top dollar.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. Cause Cooper's gonna make it do what it do, but man, I like there's people out there. It just depends on what you want to do. He talked about that balance. So the question is, what is that balance going to be, and what is that going to look like? I pay Coop in a heartbeat, but A-Rob is the obvious choice because he's been in the building.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, y'all not wrong on that.
And I think that here's the thing, right? You're also dealing with the best of this situation. Are the Bears in a situation where they have that option? Are the Bears in a situation where they have the option of Cooper Kupp? Are the Bears in a situation where they have the option of going out and finding somebody outside of this organization? Or is Allen Robinson the best that you can do, right? Because to me, I look at this as, okay, hey, I can get a receiver in the building that's already in the building, already understands what's happening, already understands how this team works. And he's here. He's seen this. He understands the organization. He understands Justin Fields. He understands, you know what I'm saying? Like that does come into account in this situation because you're talking about a guy right now who you're bringing in and is completely new, hasn't worked with your quarterback right now, hasn't worked with, and listen, that still could be the case, right? We saw Justin Fields go to Darnell Mooney heavily when Allen Robinson was on the field, and that's what kind of drew the attention away from A-Rod. Now all of a sudden Matt Nagy kind of takes him out of the game plan. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't allow him to work in the game plan with this team. 65 targets, y'all. He went from over 100 targets a year to 65 targets.
And you got to remember, Amari Cooper got 3 more than that.
Yeah, and here's the thing,
Amari
right?
Cooper got 3 more than that.
We're basing our viewpoint of Coop off of what, last season?
Yeah, and the thing, you absolutely right about that. And the thing that I want people to realize is one, me and Pat been going back and forth about this since Saquon got drafted about, hey, offensive line play this, offensive line play this. Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys got a top 5 offensive line. Somebody mama could run with that offensive line.
But apparently not Ezekiel Elliott.
Like, hey, listen, that's on them. That's on them. The reason, but before y'all like super quick to write out Coop, just remember, nobody knew that Tony Pollard was gonna be like this. And if you did, you lied. But Pollard emerged in the offense. Prescott went to CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
More than he went to Coop. So
Yeah.
so Coop wasn't getting the ball honestly in that respect.
And
Because
it's about what Justin wants as well, right? It's about, hey, listen, Justin, do you want to
yeah.
work with A-Rob? Do you think that A-Rob is a guy that's going to work? Like at now, here's the thing, right? Whether young or not, you have made the decision to build around this young kid. You have to acquiesce to some of his decisions. If he wants to work with an Amari Cooper, if he wants to work with, you know what I'm saying? Like if Cooper comes in here and he was a legitimate number one, why has he become the third option? Right? Like if you're the
Well,
number one, you don't become the third option. No matter who goes to the Green Bay Packers, Devontae Adams is option number one. That's something that you got to think about. That's something that you have to say, hey, listen, that's a
hey,
real
you are dealing
concern
with
there. Like,
Jerry Jones though.
you said what?
You are dealing with Jerry.
Well, no, it's not even that though. It's I mean, you're talking about Coop
Jerry do be having a lot to play with
yeah,
the
but you're
road.
talking about Coop going from being your number one wide receiver to a rookie wide receiver who's a very good one, very dominant. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against CD Lamb, but to
Second year.
second year, my bad. But all of a sudden, CD Lamb proves that he's the number one and not Amari Cooper. And as Bears fans, we're so deprived about what we have here that we're looking around and saying, yeah, but he's a real number one. Is he?
Yeah, but I'm not finna say like I mean, if that's just his, because he wasn't hurt. He played he was he wasn't hurt. He wasn't really injured. He played. It was 17 games last year. He played 15.
Yeah.
I'm like, it just got to be a communication issue with them because I don't believe that he just finna up and just stop going to him for no reason.
And but that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like I get CD Lamb is that dude down there. I get that, you know, all the but how many times we're talking about a guy that was legitimately paid before the quarterback
He's a 1,000-yard receiver
and was dominating. And all of a sudden, CD shows up and you don't want to go to him anymore. You don't want to look his way. There's something to be said on that kind of regression, even with the Bears last year. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Allen Robinson is a guaranteed number one wide receiver. What I'm saying with the Bears is that he knows what's going on here already. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it better to go outside and get somebody else's number two to be your number one when you've already got that dude in the building?
Steve, that's a good point, and that's what I'm trying to like. Yeah, I mean, to me, I think the regression just came in the play calling. I think the regression just.
If he's that dude, right, and that's what I'm saying though. If he's that dude that we're looking to sign, because you're not getting him for less than 18 mil. You're not getting Amari Cooper in this building for less than 18 million. So if he's that dude that you're looking to sign to bring in to get Justin that number one target, what about him was so easy to move away from?
Well, I mean, you got the line, you got CD, you got Gallup, you got Schultz.
But as a target, what about why if he was the number
I don't
one
know. I don't know.
you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
just
But
saying.
I get you. You know, I'm not trying to pin you down, but I'm just saying like
I know,
we're talking about weapons that Justin can get, and if we're talking about going outside and paying these mugs, right?
Yeah.
You got that dude. Is Amari? Oh, there went back. Is Amari Cooper worlds above Allen Robinson right now?
Yes. Yes. As far as separation, route running and the feet, absolutely. That's at the line.
So then why was it so easy to say nah?
But that's a mistake on them. I believe. Hey, how many times have we talked when and I'm gonna bring this up because we play Madden all the time.
Yeah.
I'm always be trying to stack teams. You like, hey, I got this dude, I got this dude, I got this dude. All right, cool. You gotta pay him.
You gotta pay him, yeah.
Like they re-signed the entire offensive line, gave Dak his $40 million, paid Zeke way too early. They got a couple other dudes on defense that's up for contract, like DeMarcus Lawrence. That's another thing we got to take into account. Hey, the money just not there. But hey, later on, that's gonna come back. That's gonna come back. I believe to bite them because we talked about it. Out of the two, if you was gonna get rid of anybody, to us, Zeke would have been the obvious choice.
Well, you know me.
Oh well, yeah.
I always say get rid of the running back. You shouldn't have paid Zeke in the first place.
Hey,
he was worth the money. Yeah, all right.
We paying a bro. This man, they paid him 2 years too early, bro.
Bro, 2 years too early. They paid him 2 years too much.
Yeah, so I want you to give me top running back money, and I'm not going to do none of that I did in the first 2 years.
There will probably never be a running back that comes on our show, right? There will probably never be a running back that comes on our show, but I will stand on this forever. You never pay them that level of money. You paid him top player in the NFL money.
Hey, Dallas going Dallas, man. I can't. Dallas,
and it's
Dallas
like, Dallas. Dog, it's just like, for what?
Dallas going Dallas. Yeah, when I read that, I was just like, all right.
And then, hey, guess what? Guess what you went and did? You went out and found his replacement. So it's one of them things where it's like, dog, like, just look. Dallas is a hilarious organization in itself, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you. It paid the wide receiver before they paid the quarterback. Paid the running back before they paid the quarterback. Paid the running back before they paid the quarterback. What are we talking about here, dog? Here's a question to you, all the Bears fans in the chat, and also all the Bears fans, just tuning in.
Next season, they're not gonna do that.
Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page, man. Y'all know how we get down over here. 53 in the building, man. Hit that like button. Let's get this mug cracking off. We've talked about all of these weapons, right? We've talked about what the Bears have and what they need. With where the Bears are now, with the players, I mean, we're talking about going to get a weapon and possibly a alignment. Would you rather see the Bears trade up to try and go get a legitimate weapon, trade out of the second round to go to the first? Now, it would be very similar to what we saw from Ryan Pace, but would you rather see them trade up or trade back stockpile picks because apparently they like what's at the end of this draft?
Honestly, I want them to stay where they at, and the only reason why I say I want them to stay where they at, and look, I know we haven't did the like the draft clips yet, and I know that's coming, and Muggs is like tripping off these 40 times.
Oh yeah, I'm working on it today,
and sending these videos. Look, I'm watching right with y'all, but y'all gotta understand the mugs that y'all sending us is at the top of the draft. If the Bears trade,
his name might drop though. Man, what's that dude name?
Olave?
With the G. No, with the G. Olave not dropping. Huh?
George Pickens?
George Pickens might drop.
Maybe. It just depends.
Fam, you know somebody gonna take a surprise quarterback in this mug. We're gonna be like, oh well, they need wide receiver help there as well.
It's gonna be Kenny Pickett with the 2 gloves, bro. Which, hey, bro, like I told Pat,
somebody finna be like, and a white guy from Nowheresville State coming down.
Hey, bro, listen, it's too much. It's 2 bugs I don't trust on the field of the court. You got high socks. I don't trust you. What you doing with that? You got 2 gloves. Oh yeah, nah, you out here. Something is wrong with you. I don't know what it is yet.
You're a different breed.
You just a different breed. 2
Yeah,
gloves,
you're a
I don't
different
like
breed.
that. I don't trust it. Nah. But I think Kenny Pickett is gonna be, I think, possibly the first to go. I like Malik Willis. By the way, shout out to Malik Willis because that was a dope story coming from the Nike event. Saw a homeless girl, and then his agent gave him like some brand new like Nike clothes, like the Nike clothes. He just gave it to her.
Oh, is that who that was?
Yeah, that was Malik Willis.
They didn't say no name when I had seen the story. They was just like draft pick possibility gives away his clothes, and I was like, dang, my man's ain't got no name. We can't figure out. Like, we can see him.
I was like, where the pick at? I'm like, oh, this is Malik Willis. But nah, Malik Willis will probably be the first person to go. But it just depends on if the Bears do draft back into the first round, where's that pick gonna be? Because there's a lot of like, look, Evan Neal, Aiden Hutchinson, and Nikwe. All them do is that this offensive line talent at the top of the draft is just ridiculous. Like the 40 speeds for them tackles.
Yeah.
With the way that they're looking, is just
them is wild. I don't know what's going on with that.
Fam,
what's his name? The one dude, who was it? I don't know none of that.
That was Evan Neal.
He ran a faster 40 time than Patrick Mahomes.
Fam, that was Evan Neal. But
Buddy is scary.
Buddy is built like Aaron Donald, but on the offensive line.
That man is scary.
Hey, bro, all you gotta do just run the ball behind me. Bro. All right, hike, move.
Bro.
Yeah, you might have to throw me.
Hey, he like, what's his name, bro? That man said, what'd he say in the Blind Side? He needed to take a seat.
He needed to go back to the bus.
Yeah, he needed to go back to the bus. That's that dude right there. That's who you got blocking for you in front of you right there, dog.
Chill out.
Relax, brother.
Hey, man.
God.
But yeah.
It's interesting to me, right? Because I look at this, right? Is there a player, if you're going to find somebody at the line in free agency, is there a player worth trading up for at receiver that you know is going to replace whatever that player might be that you want to go get instead of an Amari Cooper, instead of a Allen Robinson, instead of a, some of this receiver talent that's out here? Is there a player on this team that you would rather see the Bears go up and get and come away with?
If it's to me, if we just talking weapons, and if the Bears do trade up in the first round,
I don't think they're gonna get high enough to get a lineman. You know what I'm saying? I think you could go from 39 to
lineman. This legit might be the first draft I've seen where it's like 3 linemen taken within the first 3 picks, and I mean not 3 picks, but like 10 picks, and I wouldn't be upset about it. But yeah, if it was me, I would probably say if they do it, it would have to be George Pickens for me. I do still got some questions about bro, but because Drake London, by all accounts, they say going to the Jets. I know the Jets need a receiver.
Yeah.
But to me, George Pickens would have to be the answer. Do they get that done? I'm not sure, but it's like it's at the top of the draft. It's legit gonna be like, yo, once Chris Olave, you help him and Justin cut. See, but that's the thing. They did that already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's been done already. So don't expect that to be replicated just because they played together.
Yeah.
Like Chris Olave not Jamar Chase.
That's the part I need Bears fans to get.
Like, hey.
Jamar Chase is also an all-time great at LSU. Like,
this is how cold he is, right? Jamar Chase set out the year and still got drafted where they said he was going to get drafted, which I think was what, number 4? Stop playing.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, ridiculous.
And he was like, hey, yeah, I just got enough tape from my junior season. I don't really need to do nothing else.
And then went to a Super Bowl the next year. Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about? Like I need Muzz to understand. I like Chris Olave. I think that he's nice. If the Bears did trade up, I would think that's probably where you would the person you try to get. You know what I'm saying? But let's be real here. That's not Jamar Chase.
There's Jamar. No,
here's the question, right? Here's the question, and Coach T in the chat as well. Shout out to Coach T. Here's the question you got to ask yourself, right? Is Chris Olave head and shoulders above second and third round talent in this draft?
I mean, he nice.
There's second and third round talent in this draft that's gonna be nice. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm going into this. Like, is he a God
Coach T was good, by the way, Brody?
You know what I'm saying? Is he a God first round talent?
See, that's the thing. I don't know. All right.
He's the best of a bunch of dudes that you're like, he nice. He nice too. He's nice too. I like that. But he probably the best looking, but like all of y'all are nice.
Hey, what's that one TikTok? I like you. You get a cupcake. I like you. You get a cupcake. Like,
and that's really what it is.
Hey, Drake, I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of right and Coach T, that's my thing. I want y'all to understand this. We not tripping off 40. Well, at least I'm not tripping off no 40 times.
No, I'm tripping off some of these 40 times.
If you, I'm just talking about.
I know a lot of times.
I'm just talking about at the front. I'm talking about.
I know a lot of times you don't get to see them because like don't nobody really run straight like that. But some of these 40 times wild.
Hey, these 40 times is wild.
Because who was Buddy yesterday? See, this is the thing, right? I'm terrible with the draft. Who's Buddy yesterday? Technically, he ran a 4.1 when his foot.
I know that was Tyquan Thornton.
Hey, listen.
That was Tyquan Thornton, and then they changed it and he ran a 4.2.
He technically, no, they changed it to a 4.3, but he technically, when his foot crossed the line, would have run a 4.03, and he absolutely would have been the fastest man on earth.
They was like, hey, these Usain Bolt numbers. Get that off the screen.
Let that man drop. Let that man drop. It's just, you know, I wanted to have that conversation because to me, like, is there enough late round talent, right, that the Bears are going to, because you're not, listen, Bears fans, at the same time, you're not going to go out there and draft nothing but wide receivers. So now you're asking yourself, okay, do we need another tight end? Is there some tight end help there? Do you trust what Cole Kmet can become? Or do you
I trust Cole.
Or do they think I think Cole's serviceable at this point? You know what I'm saying? He's not a top tight end. He's probably not your end zone target, which is sad, but he's serviceable to get you up and down the field, right? We saw that last season. Are you looking at a lineman late in that to try and back up what you're doing? Are you looking for a center late in there? You know what I'm saying? Are you like you're not gonna just go wide receiver at that position. You're gonna try and find those linemen. You're gonna try and find those defensive linemen. You're gonna try and find those DBs because you got nobody to stand next to Jalen Johnson. You think you might have somebody.
You don't.
But you really don't have nobody.
You don't.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you have to figure out a lot of pieces. You still don't got nobody to stand next to Eddie Jackson, and you don't even know anymore if Eddie Jackson's that dude. Real talk, Eddie Jackson might be in trouble this offseason with how Eberflus is coming in. You not touching people when they down. You're not going to just put your hand on them. You did that beginning of the season and end of the season. That's what you know what I'm saying. So like, there's gonna be. Is there enough when you're drafting back that you feel comfortable drafting back? Because that's the thing. You have to have enough talent there. You're not just taking players to take them. There has to be enough talent there for you to take those guys. Or are you better off going up and getting the one guy that you feel is going to make a big difference for your team?
Now, see, this is the thing for me. I actually like me and Coach T is like step with this. I like more. I think at the end of the day, he's gonna be there. Cause the rest of them dudes, I feel like they gonna be gone. But I feel like people are actually sleeping on more. Like Drake London is cool. Ross is cool. David Bell, I don't know if it was just a bad showing for me when I seen it. Because everybody was talking about it like he kind of just did all right. They're gonna wait for the pro day, so he gotta kind of show me something. I think Moore is gonna be there. If not, I'm definitely looking for like a tackle or at least some type of corner to go along with Jalen Johnson, because Jalen Johnson was very solid last year.
Fam, here's the thing. I don't know if Jalen Johnson was good or if
that's
the
thing.
other
I gotta
side.
stop saying solid.
No, here's the thing. I don't even know if he was solid or if the dudes on the other side were just so god awful that I got to attack him. Like, who's over there? Artie Burns. Got to attack that guy. Like, I don't know. Now, I will say, when they did attack Jalen, for the most part, he did an okay job, minus like Devontae Adams absolutely cooking that man.
He was getting.
But when they did attack Jalen did an okay job. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't see them attack Jalen enough, because they would look over there and they'd be like, well, that dude has some sort of talent. Wow. What's happening there? Touchdown. Like that was the biggest problem to me with the Bears. It's like, dog, and then by the end of that, dog, I'm so glad everybody fired. I'm so glad they fired him. My God, I'm glad they fired everybody, bro. I'm talking about Muzz was sitting there, was like, Sean Desai did a good job. I'd like to keep him around. No, he didn't.
Nah.
Sean Desai did not do a good job.
He didn't.
Sean Desai.
And the crazy thing is that man about to go to Seattle and just make that even worse.
I don't think he's gonna make it worse. I think that Sean Desai is good at the job. Because is he getting the DC job, or is he getting the?
Yeah, no, he's getting the DC job.
He might make that worse.
Bro. Seattle already.
Bobby Wagner though.
He's getting older. Hey, this not the same. Hey, he gonna give you them 100 tackles.
Hey, he gonna get you that fumble on Madden. That's all I know.
Hey. Next gen, yes. Current, no.
But see, Baki, this is the reason why I say that you have to have the question, right? We got to see Thomas Graham when everybody got COVID. And Thomas Graham came in, and guess what? The kid actually could play a little bit. You know who couldn't play? Artie Burns. So you're telling me that you watched this kid on the practice squad every day and was like, nah, yeah, we're going to stick with Artie. You're fired. So glad they got them out of here. Dog, that's it. Russ, run. That defense is not going to keep you off the field, my boy. Oh, God. I just had a flashback. Like, last year was that bad, dog. Good Lord.
Offensive guard or corner with 39. If nothing is there, trade back for something, a 50-something and an 80-something. I mean, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that take. I think something's gonna be there though. You may trade. What if you trade up in the second round though? I mean, if you're a wide receiver,
I wouldn't mind seeing them, because what do we have? We got a second.
They got 39.
We got 39. We got the second, and we got the fourth and the fifth, right?
Right.
I wouldn't mind seeing a package to get you back into a third.
Okay.
Because to me, right, if you can find what's better, finding that's an interesting question. Now, what would you rather see the Bears come out of this draft with? One major player in that second round that's going to be a big player for you, and a bunch of glue guys, or just a couple of major players? Because I don't know how Poles does late rounds. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will say that Poles, at a minimum, has been on a team where he's done nothing but find picks for late round draft picks, right? Because they've kept winning, not for the same reason.
Hey, that man got Creed Humphrey and yeah, I forget the other dude's name, but they're both on the offensive line, and they just dipped. He was like, "My work is done."
Yeah. Facts. And that's, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to ID, man. Would you rather see them find that one key piece, and legitimately, let's be real, some glue guys? You know, you hope you find a stud at 4 and 5, but you're looking really at that point for your glue guys. Or would you rather see them package that and get two big pieces and make moves in free agency? And Poles understands. He told you coming in, right? You're gonna overpay in free agency. So he's expecting that. You got the cap going up to $208 million. He's expecting to overpay. I don't think your offensive line help comes from the draft. I just don't. I don't think that you go out there and you get more offensive line help from the draft. You're trying to find your left tackle of the future to me. And whether that is Tevin Jenkins or not, or you go out and you buy your left tackle of the future, I would rather see you have a vet at that position that's been doing it for a while and wants to come in here and work with this team and work with Justin and work with this line, because I think you have good pieces there. You know what I'm saying? I think James Daniels, you got to get James Daniels re-signed here. But I think James Daniels is a good piece based on what we've heard from offensive linemen who have watched him. You know what I'm saying? Now, health, when those big guys start getting hurt, a little concerning. But I think that James Daniels is a good lineman. I think the line has failed around him.
Which is absolutely why I said all they need to do is a little bit of shuffling, and they need that left tackle. The left tackle can absolutely be filled in free agency. I think in a draft, it's no if, ands, or buts about it. It's either they go because that they have to go defense.
Yeah.
For me, and then you try to at least get you a wide receiver or something. I technically don't know how that's gonna go, but you need somebody with some talent opposite of Jalen Johnson, because the fact that like you said, Thomas Graham Jr. was on the practice squad.
I'll never get over
all year.
I'll never
you
get
decided
over
to play him like 2-3 games, and
yeah.
Oh, he's gone too. And he's actually okay. Like, hey, bro, like, it's weird, man. It's weird.
You brought him back with. Here's the thing, right? You brought him back with a team that was riddled with COVID, so you didn't even have your best pieces on the defensive line, and he was playing pretty well. Like that, there's something to say. At a minimum, right?
Absolutely right.
At a minimum, you got At a minimum, you got your backup.
And the thing is, how much do you pay for how much do you pay for the left tackle? Because there's still defensive pieces out here that they're absolutely not franchise tagging. It's a bunch of guys I named. Then I mean I thought Tevin Jenkins was right. You moving him to right.
I would like to move Tevin Jenkins back to right tackle.
Yeah, I want to see him at it. I want to see everybody at their natural position, no makeshift. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you do get that left tackle, Thomas Gunn Jr. is better at even number coverages, 2 and 4. Yeah, you know what though? I did see that when I was watching your channel, bro. So actually, he is right about that. He is right about that. But yeah, man, it's like when you do go left tackle, how much do you pay him?
Yeah.
I mean, because you got Matthew, you got a bunch of guys that's looking to get new contracts. So
you overpay him.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, and look, the two teams that was in the Super Bowl. Say what you want to say. Hey, hey, they got Odell, they got Von Miller,
Yeah.
Bengals, absolutely. They made one move on the O line. Got Hubbard, got Hendrickson. Super Bowl, like, so. I mean, sometimes it works. So the question is, what do you really do? You don't know. You don't know. But I mean, it's in their hands now. It's just a wait and see thing. I liken this back to AK in a sense where it's like we knew that AK was good, right?
Yeah.
We knew that AK was good. He built that. In this sense, Ryan Poles helped build that, but we don't know what this team is going to be moving forward until he makes that first pick.
And that's the thing, right? Is Ryan Poles our AK? You know what I'm saying? Is Ryan Poles the Bears?
It's a very similar story.
Very similar. Now, the problem is, it's also very similar to Ryan Pace.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's the scary part about it. It's also pretty similar to Ryan Pace. So, but you have to ask yourself that: do the Bears have their AK? And we'll see as the offseason moves on here, man, and we'll see kind of what it's gonna bring. It's gonna be a gamble, dog. It's gonna be a gamble. You gotta see. Unfortunately, here we are again, trying to figure out what the heck we have. You know,
we gonna see once that first round is over with.
yeah,
Once that first pick,
watch the first thing we hear. The Chicago Bears have traded up to a top 10 pick. What? What?
Hey, all I'm saying is it better be the right
one. We take a receiver. He blows his knee out. like it's Kevin White all over again.
I want Chris Olave first practice. Yeah, so he was in practice, and we got a non-contact knee injury. Oh,
yeah, exactly, right, exactly. Moving ahead, man. Appreciate y'all for showing love and rocking with us. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. We do this every single day, 11 to 1 over here, man. You can also listen to us live over on the Contender, where you can hear nonstop sports talk while you're on the clock. Make sure you get in tune with them. Also, check out the newest episode of Locked On Bulls featuring your boy and, of course, Hayes over at Chicago Bulls Central, man. That is now live over on the YouTube as well. If y'all haven't seen that. Buddy. Appreciate that love, bro. Just looking at the poll here, right? The poll, I'm talking about the one I put up on whether the Bears should re-sign Allen Robinson or let him walk. Right now, letting Allen Robinson walk, winning 70% to 30%. Bears fans seem done with him. Letting it, we'll keep you updated on the poll, but 70% to 30%.
Hey, Coach T, while we got you in here, because I don't know if you left or not. Would you keep A-Rob in the building, or would you go out and get a Coop? Get an Amari Cooper.
Hey man. Let me know. Let's go to let's look at this here, right? Because we whew, talk about a gamble, dog. Calvin Ridley had to play the worst odds in NFL history right here. I mean, $1,500 bet that cost you $10 million. That's it's pretty bad odds. Calvin Ridley gets suspended for the entire next season. Question on the table. Is this fair? Is this a fair suspension for Calvin Ridley for being caught gambling on football? Basically lost 118 parlay, and the NFL has suspended him for the entire next season. It's going to cost him about $10 million contract that he would have had. Is the suspension, in your opinion, fair? Or is the NFL being a little excessive here?
I think that the suspension the suspension is a little excessive. I'm not gonna lie. The suspension is a little excessive. I don't like what he came out and said though. Like he I don't know. In my opinion, he being kind of dumb.
Ain't no way I'm snitching on myself, by the way.
You said what?
I say ain't no way I'm snitching on myself. That man
I
came
know,
out and was just like, yeah, I did it. And I'm glad I did. Like, what? Dog? What are you doing? Like,
bro, he was big. Like, yeah, I did it, but I mean, you just gotta remember, I'm gonna be the healthiest mug out there next season. Like, what, bro? Like, this. What are you talking about? I don't know. I just think I kind of figured this was gonna come into effect. I just didn't know how long it was gonna take. I mean, you got mugs betting on the games all the time. I'm pretty sure he's not the only one.
Yeah, he's definitely not the only one that's.
He's definitely not the only one. Like let's not do this.
Here's the thing, right? One,
he's the example though.
I'm all for you getting suspended just for being that dumb. Signs up with an app. These apps have deals in place with the NFL where they have to let the league know if your name comes across their docket.
And the entire goofy, bro.
Yeah,
that's like legit every app though.
He should be suspended a year just for that. But here's my thing, right? I don't think that the punishment is too much because you have to set an example. Now, do I think that he was the betting on the fact? He already said he wasn't betting on the Falcons. He wasn't doing any of that. He wasn't messing. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing any of the, like, he's the reason. Because that's what I thought, right? That's what I thought. The first thing I saw was, oh, this man was betting on the Falcons to lose and took himself off the team.
But immediately that's why I said I didn't read the full story, because remember he was like they was like, yo, he's just out for like mental health stuff. Yeah. And then when the story came out, I immediately thought, oh, so he was out and he was just betting on the Falcons.
He's betting on the Falcons to lose. That's what I thought first time I saw it too. But to me, right, you have to drop the suspension. You have to give him that level of suspension to try and deter people from doing it in that way, right? Because if all of a sudden, a little slap on the wrist, 2 games. Now Mud's going to be like, oh, okay.
2 games for this? Hey, man.
2 games for that? I'll take 2 games if I can make bread. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to bet on me. Or I'm going to bet against us because I know my team is trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand the setting of the example. So even that. And the other thing is, too, again, it's just dumb. Your CBA agreed to this. Your CBA went in and said, no, we're not going to allow these players can't play. Like, you knew the rules. If the rules are in place, and it's not like Roger Goodell's making up a suspension. This is in the collective bargaining agreement what somebody would be suspended for if they were caught gambling.
You did it anyway. I mean, it's just
I don't feel bad. And it's the same, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same for me with when we would talk about Sha'Carri Richardson, she knew what she was getting herself into. She did it anyway. You hate to see it. Even with the chick that got in this year, I absolutely felt like she shouldn't have been able to compete. I don't care how young you is. You cheated, you ain't getting in there. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, what Shorty do?
The little Russian chick that was she Russian? The little Russian figure skater.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Imagine a starting punt returner betting on games. But like I have no problems with how the NFL handled this personally. Because there's a bunch of rules in place for what's gonna happen if you do this. So like you go into this with full nine, and I get you bored on your couch, you're doing. But here's the thing too. I'm not snitching on myself. What's going on?
Bro, Buddy was big proud of it.
I'm not snitching on myself either. I'm like, now listen, the NFL might still kill me, but I'm gonna be like, nah. I gave my brother my phone. He just signed up under my. Also, you signed up with your name, dog. I would have been Rondell Barber the third in this mug. Stop playing with me. Like, there's no way I'm signing up with my real name either.
Hey man, if that's the case, man. Hey, if I do it, call me James St. Patrick,
bro, or my main phone. This is a burner phone.
You couldn't even use the bat phone.
And this is the thing, right?
Couldn't even use the bat phone, bro.
This is the thing. You have to look at him like, hey, how dumb are you that you didn't even use somebody else's phone in the crib? Like, there's so much you could have done. There's so many other options. You could have done it on a computer. You know what I'm saying, dog? I was flabbergasted by Buddy. I was like, dog, you deserve a year just for not having enough street smarts.
Just for being dumb.
You know what I'm saying?
Just for being dumb.
Damian says, Pat, you got to be kidding me if you think that's fair. We've had players who commit crimes way worse and get a slap on the wrist, cough, cough, Big Ben, AB, Tom Brady, Ray Rice. Again,
this is in the rule book.
This is in the rule book. It's not Roger Goodell saying, oh my God, this dude gets a year because we need to make an example of him. This is what the players agreed to. This is what his union agreed to.
And
now is this to the nth degree of the rule? Yeah, this is the maximum punishment of the rule. But you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and when parameters are set, this is what happens. They're going to make an example. Did you think being the first one to get caught, they weren't going to make an example? And this is the thing, right? You know, it's players around the league doing the same thing. You know, somebody told him like, "Oh man, y'all be playing parlays all the time."
Hey, you know what it is? They're just smarter than him.
And that's what I'm saying. You know, there's mugs around the NFL that are like, "Oh, I be playing parlays all the time, bro. I do this, I do blah blah blah." And in the NFL, right, you have to turn your phone in every week because of this now. Like you gotta. I forget, maybe it's every month or something like that. But there's a you dig where they have to see your phone after a certain amount of time in the CBA as well. I don't remember what the time frame was because I had to read up on this. I was like, fam, did they just throw this punishment at them? But there's a certain amount of time where they check your phone. It might be every other week or every month, something like that. And they literally are trying to see if you're cheating or if you're, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way you using the main phone, my G. Like,
bro, just bring the bat phone. Just bring the bat phone. Just bring the bat phone. Like that's just not smart. That's just not smart.
But for the record, I know that he can appeal, and he has a good case to appeal because there is a gray area line that is there. And so because of that,
Time out. Why he just come in like this?
Came in like he been here the whole time. Start the conversation.
Hey man, listen, it's called professionalism when you got to work at the same time. You know.
Hey, I love it.
But yeah, there's a good chance that appeal could be successful. So 1,500 may not cost him 11 million. And at the end of the day,
a heck of a
even
bet.
if it does, now here's the interesting part. What's possible? Now this is not substantiated yet, but it's possible.
Yeah.
He could be released from his org, be fined and suspended for a couple games, and re-sign with a team to make that money up. That's possible. Good afternoon, everybody.
I don't know if the Falcons want him gone though. That's the thing too. It's like the thing with all of this is Calvin Ridley's really good at football. You know what I'm saying?
We're talking about 6 to 7 game suspension.
He's still really good at football.
Hey,
whether he was there suspended wise or whether he was there not mentally, you know what I'm saying? We're still talking about Calvin Ridley's really good at football, and we want him on the team. And at least I would. Hey, look, I'll say this about the whole situation though. Like, I feel like it's different. You know what I'm saying? People want to make the comparison of, well, there's things that have been done way worse. There are things that have been way more egregious than this, and the suspensions have been less. Those aren't things that you're sitting there in the CBA like, yeah, so if you beat your wife, how many suspensions are we putting on that?
Wow. Tough sell right there. Tough sell.
I know.
If you are caught up in a murder case, how many games we throwing on that?
Interesting thing, and shout out to our women because I think this is Women Empowerment Month. I believe that is this month. It's a woman empowerment month. I do believe. So shout out to you all because obviously as a girl dad, I'm raising young beautiful queens up there, and I'm married to one as well. So is Pat. But I tell you what, interesting, fun, not so fun fact. Did you know where the rule of thumb came from?
Oh God.
All right, bro. So on that note,
the rule of thumb came from an old-timey thing saying that you could not beat your spouse with anything wider than the width of your thumb.
Oh yeah, I did know that.
Okay, yeah,
wild.
Okay. You know how these terms be with kids. I don't
wild.
know.
Hey, dog, I didn't know where that was going. I thought that was a.
No. Hey, listen,
you
know wild. So,
all right, I'm adjust.
What does that have to do with the NFL? The NFL has a bunch of different crazy things that's happened.
Raging said that's
betting is not the most
America
egregious.
in the 60s, bro.
Betting is not the most egregious considering everything else. But I will say this.
Yeah.
He does have to really be made an example of. He can't be out here being the Pete Rose of NFL, even though he's good. He ain't that great. He can't be the Pete Rose.
And that's the thing, right? Like Pete, I think the other thing with Pete, but even with Pete, right? Like I get it. Like Pete went through an appeal basically to say, okay, finally I'm going to admit that I did this. Because Pete for years didn't admit that he was gambling.
Would you?
No, I said, Calvin, you're dumb, dog. That man came out and just was like, yeah, it was me. I did it. Stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man, uses an actual name.
Hey, you don't got to double down on it. Like, my name is Calvin Bartholomew Ridley.
Because you can bet on team. You can bet on games if you're not on a roster.
You can bet on games if you're not on a roster, but he's actively on a roster.
But that's where the gray area comes in because he could have, like, it could be one of those things where ignorance plays a part.
Yeah, he can say, I wasn't aware that I was still a part of the roster but then you know what? Here's the thing.
I wasn't a part of the active roster to have any influence on the game is what the argument could be.
But here's the thing, even with that, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna say that, right? Okay, now guys on IR can bet on the game. Now there's still that have that.
It's not to say that he's going to successfully do it.
Yeah,
it's to say that
that's
because of that reasoning, the penalties may not be as harsh. Potentially, you're looking for leniency. You're looking for them to lean his way, and I think because realistically, it's one of those things where look at the overall reception of it. Everyone's like, yeah, but check this. Like because of that, he may be granted that, to be honest with you. Now, mind you, this is all, subjective right there. Like none of this, no matter who's talking about it right now, nobody knows for sure. So even if you go on First Take, ESPN, them guys don't know.
Well, you don't.
Any
Here's
more
the
than
thing.
we know.
Here's the thing, right? You don't know the outcome. The problem is, he did it.
Mm-hmm.
He doubled down and said he did it. And what the CBA, the NFL, PA, and all of them mugs agreed upon for the punishment for this. So at least like he's being punished to the maximum letter of the law, but kind of not really. If it's just a year, he's not being punished because technically you can be banned from the NFL for gambling. Yeah, he can be banned for life. So technically he's still kind of getting off small. But it's one of those where like I mean, dog, like there's so much here. Like there's so much in place. There's so many. At a minimum, I don't care. And you can run out with the who's reading a full on CBA, who's reading all the contracts. The players probably aren't doing it. At a minimum, you can be a kid and know you can't gamble in sports. We've seen enough examples of it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a whole different shit. Like to me, like I said, the suspension is because you were dumb enough to do this, mug. The suspension to me is because you were just like, hey man, I'm gonna use my phone in my crib, and on these gambling sites, dog, you have to give your location to even get in there. You know what I'm saying? You have to give your location to even get on the app. So they know where your crib is at. Like there's so much information you got to give to get on one of these betting apps.
I just don't know why he gave his name. Like I said,
and again, oh, go ahead, Steph.
Nah. I said I don't know why he gave his full name. I would have clearly told them I was James St. Patrick.
No, this is the thing. No, you have to
provide ID. Yeah,
you have to give a driver's license and a social security number to get on these apps.
Yeah, they have to do that.
But see, even then, like I was telling Pat, why just not bring the bat phone? If they check the phone, just bring the bat phone.
Here's the thing: you're mentioning
somebody else's name, right? Like even
now that's illegal, by the way. Now here's what you need to understand: that's illegal.
Yes,
and that also shows that you're very aware of the fact that you're not supposed to do that. So now it looks like you're avoiding or trying to circumvent something to place money or place bets. That is highly illegal. Now, for him to sit he's much better off playing the I really didn't understand role as opposed to I gave him a fake name to do that. That means not only were you aware, you fully knew the consequences, and that's where you definitively get banned. So
here's the thing though. My wife gambles on the game, right? She got my bank account. All you need, or girlfriend, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, baby, put $100,000 on the Falcons tonight to get this dub. I'm going off for 6 tutties. I could live with that.
That's called a mule. You can't do that.
I didn't say it was legal. but here's my thing, right? I know there's dudes betting in the NFL on these games. Here's the thing. I know dudes that we hold in high regard that had gambling issues.
Oh,
Michael Jordan. You telling me Michael Jordan never bet on a Bulls game? I never bet on a Bulls game. I'm not buying it. Hey, Mike, what you going for tonight? 50. And he drops 50.
Hey, listen. I love this comment. Can't trace 1,500 like that. Let me tell you something. As someone who's worked in banking, as someone who's worked in these organizations that are trying to really change, like fintech organizations for sure, they can track you down to the penny.
Yeah, they could trace anything.
They can track you. Like the NFL doesn't have to do much. And first of all, it's the NFL. It's one of the most successful businesses in America.
And it's in bed with now probably the second most successful business in America in these gambling websites.
Not only can they track it, they will have no problem spending the money to do so. Trust me, they can track you down to the penny. You used your debit card this morning to buy some coffee? I know exactly where you were, what time, I know how much you spent, and based off of some camera footage, tell you what you were wearing when you bought it.
That's not scary at all.
It's not scary at all, but guess what? It takes 10 minutes. It really does. It don't take long at all.
Fact. That's a fact. It's and here's the thing, right? It again going back, and I hate to just like the gambling sites have to report you if they see your name. That's in the agreement with the NFL. Like they're not going to jeopardize their contract with a multi-billion-dollar organization to not be snitching on you. Like you there's so and there's so many steps you got to go through, and you're telling me at no point in this did you think, man, this might not be a good idea. Not once. Like this, you have to go through quite a process to sign up with a lot of this stuff. At no point did you think, man, this might be a tough idea right here, dog.
Nah, 1,500 is very easy to track, dog. I mean, hey, listen, I just hope you're never in a situation where you have something at risk and you believe that.
Yeah.
Because if you're ever in a situation where you believe that and you have something substantial to lose, I pray for the outcome, brother. Because I'm telling you, it ain't as sweet as you think it is. And here's the thing. What Pat is saying in regards to the integrity of the game is true. The NFL has these rules in there for a reason. They are highly enforceable, and they for a reason.
Yeah.
Billions of dollars get spent on these gambling sites. So if you are a player who has the potential to impact a game, they are going to it's billions of dollars.
Now again, here's my thing.
That Draymond Green thing with the Warriors is still causing a headache for people.
No bookie?
But even bookies, they keep records.
Yeah, but a bookie isn't in bed with the NFL. You don't got to report him. You know what I'm saying? Like you get an offshore dude, just be like, hey, Kenny.
I'm sure there's a way to do it, Pat. But I mean, at the same time, again, we're talking about it as if this man was fully aware and was doing it trying to be sneaky. He clearly wasn't fully aware.
He wasn't trying to be sneaky. Now I will say this, right? It's so. Does ignorance get you out of it?
Hopefully.
You know what I'm saying? Does ignorance get you out of it? Because like it's so in your face, oh my God, that it had to be a little bit of like, maybe he didn't know, or he knows going in, his excuse is I didn't know, and he thinks that can get him out of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't know.
The most effective crimes are the ones that are so audacious that you don't believe it's real. Tell the truth. If I sat here and said something stupid, mad, wild, you'd be like, ain't no way he did that intentionally. Like you would doubt it so much because it's just stupid. In this case, the only reason why we can sit here and say he had to not know is because it's so stupid.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb. Like you gotta agree with that. It's so stupid that you like, nah, dog, you really ain't think that through at all, huh? Like,
and this the thing, right? And this is the thing.
To be more careful.
Even him just coming out and tweeting about it and saying like, hey, listen, I broke the rules. That's my bad. By the way, now, absolutely, you're just killing yourself on Twitter. By the way, Calvin, just stop tweeting, brother.
That's what he needs. Please stop. His agent needs to be like, hey, put the phone down.
I'm gonna be the field next year.
Hey, you know his agent is just like, haven't you done enough with the phone? Put it down. Haven't you done enough with your cell phone this year?
Hey, I didn't know he was tweeting out. Hold on, I gotta go look at the tweets now.
Bro, he was absolutely tweeting. He said, listen, I know I broke the rules, but a year? Yes, a year. Hey, why somebody tweet out there and say, hold up. That's good. That's a good one. I
So
get
he
that.
said, I bet 1,500 total. I don't have a
I
gambling
don't have a
problem.
gambling problem. Yeah.
I can respect that. Now here's the thing: for anyone who sits there and goes on about the integrity of the game with this man,
ain't no integrity in these games.
But we just sat there and heard Brian Flores say that he was getting paid to tank.
Yeah.
And another coach say the same thing. Ain't no way in the world you're gonna sit there and talk to me about integrity.
There's no integrity in these games. I mean, listen, the NFL is in bed with the gambling organizations that set the money lines on the game with the referees they pay in the game. Where's the integrity there? You telling
Ridley
me if Roger Goodell
he placed a legal bet in Florida with Hard Rock. They notified Genius Sports, who oversees betting integrity of the NFL. Ridley placed 3, 5, and 8 game parlay bets that did include the Falcons, per source. He bet on them to win, and I was told by the fact that didn't have a material impact on the suspension anyway.
Yeah. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. My thing is just like, stay off Twitter, my boy. Hey, the funny thing is somebody tweeted out, they said Calvin Ridley placing a bet and then calling Matt Ryan, telling him to play like trash. Said Matt Ryan on the phone was like,
shit, Negro, that's all you had to say.
Hey, that's an A-level tweet. I give you that one, sir. I applaud you for that one.
Yo.
I applaud you for that one. That is an A+ level tweet. Said Matt Ryan hopped on the phone. Oh yeah, no, yeah. There's nothing about morals involved in this, right? Again, the NFL is finding someone who was dumb enough.
But the owners are part of the sports gambling thing too.
Yeah, that's why I said there's no integrity in any of this.
No. Everybody help me make sense of this. You on ownership could be financially incentivized and own a sports book. Are you not also betting on games?
Well, they don't own it. There's a partnership. You can't be a part of the you can't be a part.
The Bears are trying to get that same little you did going in Arlington, right?
It's a partnership.
But why have the partnership? Why blur the lines?
Because people want to gamble at games. So that's the only reason. That's where the integrity of this whole thing.
Why can't I bet on myself to win? I'm betting on myself.
Because then you get somebody that's gonna bet on themselves to lose. Yeah, I'm saying.
Okay. If you betting on myself to lose gives the opportunity for me to say, you know what? Yeah, if I just drop this pass right here, boom. But if I'm betting on myself to win, I am even more financially incentivized to go out there and actually perform at a high level.
You
want to know how Mike averaged 30 for a career? I bet you he did that. Mike was like, I got 100 grand on this game. You about to absolutely get 50.
That's why all them games where they be like, Mike told me he was gonna score 50 on me. He scored 48 and he was upset. And it was like, he wasn't mad at you. He was mad that he lost that $100,000 parlay.
Oh God. I want to get big enough to the point where I can sit next to Mike and be like, hey Mike, tell the truth, dog. At this point, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. You bet on them games, didn't you? You bet on them games. Come on, baby. It's just me and you. It's just me and you in the world at this point. But it's just me and you. You bet on them games, didn't you? There's a reason why you sat there and counted backwards against Stacey King, and it wasn't because you was bored.
Hey, he'll never admit to it because even now as an owner, he's still a part of the NBA.
Man, I gotta wait till that man get on his deathbed. I hate to say it that way.
Mike,
I hate to say it that way.
Mike,
I'm
you
not
gotta
trying to
tell us,
on
Mike.
that man at all. But I gotta catch that man at a moment where I know he has nothing to lose. And when you know you facing your mortality, you say anything.
Hey,
so at that point, I'm like, hey, Mike.
Now listen.
I'm gonna be 50 years old. Hey, Mike. So check this out. On this day, right? I know you remember because you probably got a bookie for it, but you bet on that game, didn't you? You didn't bet on that game? You mean to tell? I bet.
Hey, blink twice if you did. Once if you didn't.
Hey, I've met Mike 3 times.
Hey, the worst thing would be like, you'd be like, blink twice if you did, once if you didn't. And then like he'll just close his eyes and nothing else happened. Like he died right there. He's like, dang it, I will never know.
From the way I know Mike, though, if he throw a drink at me, he did it. If he just sit there and smile, that means he did it too. But if he throw a drink, that means that it was a lot more egregious, and I shouldn't be looking into it. Mike, an honorary dude. All right, anyway, we're gonna move past. I ain't gonna tell you how I know. Let's just somebody I know that he know occasionally go fishing up from time to time on a nice little boat.
You know what Mike gonna do? Mike just gonna yell security like up in head of state, and somebody gonna come up and snatch you up out of there. You just gonna be gone. Like, what happened in Paris? He was talking to Michael Jordan. He never came back. We'll rename the show after him and grow from
it. We told him not to follow the story.
The show don't die with him. We told him not to follow the story.
He did it anyway.
We told him let it go. Hey man, appreciate y'all for showing love to the channel as always, dog. Closing out on this one, man. We want to close out on a positive note, right? We're on a 5-game losing streak in the NBA with the Bulls. And so we want to close out on a positive note, man. We want to close out not so gloom and doom. Bulls got some very winnable games coming up in these next 3. And then it gets really tough. What do the Bulls in these next 3 games have to do to right the ship and keep that momentum going into those tougher games that they're going to play? Because honestly, if we're looking at it right, we don't expect the Bulls to win all these games. Steph expects us to win none of them. We don't expect the Bulls to win all these games.
Bro, we still
10 was good. But we also don't want to see them just get the doors blown off of them like we've seen one too many times this season. What do the Bulls have to get right in these next 3 games that they'll be able to carry over into those tougher games and be able to remain competitive?
I think the first thing is the first thing is following the defensive game plan. Like Billy said, whatever the defensive game plan is, follow that. Number 2 is know your personnel, do your job on the defensive end, and just shot fake discipline would be the third one. You carry that into these next 3 games, they could easily have a 3-game winning streak going into that road trip, or those tougher games. I mean, and that's actually all it is to me, to be honest.
I'll jump in. For me, I'm not so much. I've detached myself from seeding unless we're in playing, a situation. So I frankly don't care whether we're first. I frankly don't care if we're 6. We haven't been in the playoffs in a while. So being in the playoffs is a success. So we just have to solidify that. I am much more concerned about chemistry and camaraderie and people just understanding their roles on the floor and sticking to it. I know Billy said sticking to a game plan, stuff like that, but all of that plays a part. I'm also worried about health. Zach is shooting 40% from 3, and that's great. But you can't tell me that oftentimes he's not favoring that shot simply because it takes too much effort to go to the paint. And we can see how he's now. This is speculation, but you can just watch the games. Look at how he runs, and stuff like that. Look at how uncomfortable he looks at times, making certain movements. It's there. It's obvious to me. And so I want to make sure that that's a thing. So, and to be honest with you, I would shut him down till playoffs. If AC and Lonzo comes back, I would shut him down for 2 weeks because I need him healthy. A healthy Zach absolutely what a healthy DeMar can do. I fully believe it.
I think the question that you come out of that with, right, is, and based on what the doctors are saying, I'm assuming that the Bulls probably asked that same question. Not so much can it get worse, but even if he sits out, will it get better? You know what I'm saying? Zach LaVine looks the same that he looked before the All-Star break. He was limping and struggling on that knee, and we saw that it affected his shot. And on the other side of it, even after as much rest as he got, he was limping and struggling on that knee. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do nothing crazy at the All-Star games. Zach LaVine had 1 360 dunk and a defensive stand, like a couple of layups. He didn't do anything that you would be like, oh my God, he aggravated his knee completely. Like, so to me, that would be my only question with it is, even if he sits, is it gonna improve?
It would. You have to think of it like this. We have so many backs coming up and quick turnarounds. Sitting him down for a week is equivalent of almost 4 games. Those 4 games, that's less wear and tear on that joint. That's less wear and tear on that for later. Like at this point, we're pretty comfortable. Like we had this again. Let me pull out my book because I took notes. And I really did take notes right here. I got it all right here. I want people to know I ain't just looking at no random page. But we got Detroit, we got the Cavs, we got the Kings, we got the Jazz. Detroit is a dub for most of us. The Cavs, without Jared Allen, is a dub. The Kings could be a dub. I would sit him right now. You mean to tell me? I went to Detroit versus Bulls. We blew them out by halftime.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like we were sitting there talking, and then all of a sudden we looked up. It was like, oh God, Dad, we up by 20. Like this, that type of time with Detroit. I would sit him. I would sit him for Cavs.
Yeah.
I would sit him for the Kings. Jazz, let's see what you got going. Who do the Jazz have for him to stick outside of Donovan Mitchell? Which he's not going to stick Donovan Mitchell.
He's not sticking Donovan. Io's probably going to stick. Well, what's the date on that? That's the game where Muggs might actually be coming back too.
Yeah, they might have him on Bogdanovic. Ingles, because I misspoke the other day. Ingles was the one that they got rid of, but they got Bogdanovic.
Go ahead.
They got Bogdanovic, and Ingles was the one they got rid of. So they'll probably have him on like Ingles or somebody, I guess.
I bring him back for the Jazz because we got to play the Suns right after. Then we play the Raptors. I sent him for the Raptors. We got to play the Bucks. He got to come back for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Then we play the Pelicans. I sent him for the Pelicans. We got to play the Cavs again. All right, I got
to remember that those teams is playing for something though.
Yeah, they are playing for something. But here's the thing: we're not going to drop to 8th, 9th seed.
Well, I know
we have way more talent than that. We have a schedule that kind of lends us to stay in that type of contention. I'm only going to play him for the important games into the playoffs because he looks that labored. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. You can't tell me you looked at him playing and you saw moments where it's like, that's a dunk. He didn't dunk it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. When he drove to the bucket and he absolutely had Embiid lined up to get yammed on and didn't try it, I was like, yeah, he's hurt. Right. He's hurt. He had that man. I mean, I was like getting ready to, here we go. And he just, I think he passed it.
He got it blocked.
He passed it out to Javante.
He passed it out to Javante.
He had 2 opportunities, in my opinion, and one of them he got blocked because he second guessed it. He went up slow. You could say he was looking for it. He gathered up and he was just like, oh, and it got blocked. Like that's not Zach. Zach ain't afraid of Embiid. Zach ain't afraid to dunk on Embiid.
Zach definitely tried that, man, a couple times this season too.
Hey, it's like Embiid is not that imposing of a figure for me to sit like, oh, it's Embiid. No, dunk on that man. That man, get out the way. Like we got 2 slam dunk champions on our team. Get out the way.
And they be rising up, dog. Derrick Jones be right. I like Derrick Jones, man. Y'all should have kept Derrick Jones. I ain't gonna lie to you. Miami might have missed on that one. Derrick Jones a nice little player, dog.
Derrick Jones solid. I ain't lie to you. What
y'all get rid of him for?
You said what?
What'd y'all get rid of him for?
Probably a pack of cigarettes.
Now we got
Pat Riley to smoke. Pack of Marlboro Blacks.
Don't Pat Riley look like he owns like 10 casinos?
We kept Oli. That's what happened. We had to pay Oli.
Definitely should have kept Derrick Jones.
Oli played decent last night though. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Oh, Oli actually played last night?
Oli played last night, yeah.
Look at Oli back in the building.
The Heat are a team to actually worry about. I'm not gonna cap on that one. The Heat are a team to worry about.
I'm worried. Listen, they up there. I ain't worried.
I'm worried about them. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Worry.
I'm worried about 3 teams.
If y'all wanted anybody from the squad, y'all should have got that whole Morris, but you know.
Anyway,
Damn,
I got
Jesus. Why?
Hey,
too hard now. There's
you
3
can't
teams
turn
I'm
your back.
ultimately worried about: Philly, Bucks, and Miami. I'm not worried about anybody else. And maybe sneaky suspicion on the Celtics because they're doing
what's
a whole
weird,
lot.
right? Like I looked at Philly last night, that game versus Philly last night, and I never felt like the Bulls couldn't defend them. I genuinely felt like it's the first game, and me and Hayes talked about the free throw discrepancy that came up in over the last 5 games. It's like the Bulls have been the free throw calls for the Bulls versus the other team has been 96 to 54. And we got 26 free throw calls last night, which is the most that we've had called in 5 games.
By the way, our first loss, second loss against, I think it was the Bucks. We had 7. One of these we had 7 free throw calls. That was the lowest we had all season. While they had nearly it was a 21 free throw attempt difference. So still got that echo.
It's Steph, cut the volume down a little bit, my boy.
I got you, bro.
It's one of those where
his name's Mike.
To me,
cool.
Over most of it, right? Like so
good now?
Nah, it's good now. That's still kind of there. This is what I said, right? The versus the Hawks, Billy Donovan said, we got to stop fouling them on one end, and we got to attack the bucket on the other. And we didn't do that. Okay, that's Atlanta. Versus Milwaukee, as much as I hate to say it, y'all, that's what happens when you're the NBA champions. You get a ridiculous amount of calls. Is it fair? Do I like it? No, but we also lived off of that for a solid 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what comes along with being the NBA champion. There's a clip of Michael Jordan absolutely looking at a ref, yelling at him, saying, "Come on, man," and the ref immediately getting shook and blowing the whistle. Like, I know what comes from that. And then, but last night's game, right? And even in those games, right? Nobody was in such foul trouble that it changed how you played. Last night's game, it changed how you played. Last night's game, Tristan Thompson has 4 fouls. It changed your entire defensive game plan, and we questioned probably 3 of those. He had 4 fouls in the first quarter and a half, and we questioned probably 3 of those, saying, "Hey, look, I don't think. What are we calling here? Or at least call it for Tristan on the other end." And they weren't doing that. So, like, it legitimately changed how the Bulls played. And I think that's the first game we really can say that. Like, yeah, they got 33 free throws in the Bucks game, but we also lost by 4. And there was a ton of stuff we could have done to get the dub there.
Every once in a while, you just have to admit when a team has your number.
Yeah.
I think nobody.
What?
What?
I don't know. I had to mute him real quick because he got extremely loud for a second. Hey, Steph, I need you to adjust your volume, my boy. No one explains that better than Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley has really, done a great job explaining when sometimes a team just has your number. You just don't match up well against them. I think Kenny kind of second that. Shaq is always on this Superman stuff. But, like no one could really match up with the Rockets back in the day. Hakeem was just that type of player. You really couldn't match up with them. It was something about them. They didn't have the best record in the West when they won. They didn't have the best record of the rest either time when they won. But there was just something about him that you just couldn't really game plan for.
Yeah.
And he would just destroy people. Embiid has that. You don't really know what it is at times because it's like he beats us in different ways. One game, he beats us shooting outside the paint. Next game, he's beating us in the paint. The other game, he's beating us because he gets to the free throw line so freaking much. Like, you never really have that one thing that he's like, he's going to do this if we shut this down. Embiid is a freak of nature. He's too tall. He's tall. He's a big man, so he's tall, who could dribble like a guard. Probably not like KD, but he could dribble like a guard. He has outside post moves. He has inner post moves.
Whoa.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you.
We got breaking news.
Hear me?
We got breaking news.
Hear me?
Oh, we hear you.
Hey, so pending a physical, Russell Wilson is going to the Denver Broncos. Pending a physical and Russell Wilson's approval, he is going to the Denver Broncos.
Well, how you like them apples?
My fault, bro. That's why I got loud.
How many of y'all was sitting there saying he ain't gonna go to Tennessee? He ain't go to Denver. What's in Denver? Russ.
Denver kind of lit though, ain't it?
Nah, dog.
Denver did.
Denver is hush. I actually interviewed for a company who wants to actually fly me out there. I did that at 10 o'clock today. They want to fly me out there for final round. It's nothing to do out there. It's a tech gig, dog. What are you talking about?
I'm saying, it sound like an Instagram chick.
Hey, dog. Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, you know. Hey, Steph with the crazy breaking news. All right, listen, I cut your mic because you got loud. It was like echo.
Bro.
I was like, okay.
That was my, because when I seen that, I had to what?
So, question to you guys before we get out of here, man, because we got a little time to break this down. How does this affect the NFL? How does this change things in the NFL? That Denver team was not far away. It was legitimately a quarterback away.
I'm not gonna lie. I mess with it. You said you still got Bradley Chubb. The defense is intact. I feel like you still need somebody to go opposite him. But I mean, with the weapons that they got on offense, Noah Fant, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Melvin Gordon.
Yeah. Also off the table for the Bears, Mike Williams just reached a 3-year, $60 million deal that includes $40 million guaranteed and $28 million in 1 year with the Chargers. So he's now off the table at the wide receiver position for you. But that is
it's
Denver
crazy.
had all the tools you
They're
needed
definitely
to be
in contention
competitive.
next year. They have a ready-made defense.
Yeah.
They got a ready-made defense. All the weapons that I just mentioned, and legitimately, we've been saying for about 2-3 years now. Hey, bro, they get a quarterback. They can make some noise. So they took their shot, and hey, it went in. So definitely contenders in my book.
Here's the weird thing, right? How does Denver keep doing this?
I don't know, but shout out to VGM. Bro, VGM is the GOAT.
Done this 4 times.
VGM is the GOAT. On God, they are. Every time they put themselves in a position, hey, we just need somebody to stay in this pocket, baby. Stay in this pocket. Just stay in this pocket. You gonna stay in this pocket? Championship. Pay me my money.
You know what I'm saying? Go get Peyton Manning. And then what are we gonna do? Go get Russell Wilson. So here's the question now in the NFC. What does Seattle do? Does this mean full rebuild now?
I think Pete Carroll's gone.
I could see it now.
I think Pete's gone.
I could see it now.
Pete's
because listen, I could see it because is Pete gonna want to be a part of a full-on rebuild? You know what I'm saying? Like,
man, Pete going back to college.
Man, Pete might be going home, dog. Pete is 70-some years old,
dog. He ain't got nothing to do.
Pete might be going home.
Hey,
I am hearing that Trubisky is either going to I did hear that yesterday. Trubisky going to Seattle, or Trubisky going to because Denver was one of the teams, but if they got Russ.
I mean, here's the thing. If you Mitch, do you want to go to the running? What was Russell Wilson doing? Like, that tells you how good of a quarterback Russell Wilson is. You know what I'm saying? Like, Russell Wilson was a good quarterback, knowing good and dang well the dudes in front of him were not protecting him. Mitch, you want to go to that? You know what I'm saying? I think Mitch to the either to the Colts or to Washington makes the most sense for him, probably. Or not Washington. Well, no, Denver was the other piece I did say, didn't I? That was another team I said. I said the Colts, and I said who?
It's Colts, Giants, and it was Colts, Giants, Steelers, and
Steelers. I said Mitch to the Steelers makes the most sense to me. Because you got the weapons there and you got a decent offensive line. I mean, that is crazy news, dog. That legitimately that shakes up.
Timeout. This is what we're not saying.
What we got?
Massive haul, including multiple first-round draft picks plus additional picks, and
that's what I was waiting for. I didn't see what was going back.
So you got to understand. First of all, shout out to him for wanting to be in competition in the AFC. The AFC is loaded.
Yeah, you really. Hey, listen, you
going up there to do.
You went to the wrong.
Bro,
that's the one thing I will say.
This.
You went to the wrong.
Patrick
now
Mahomes,
here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. It's
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
Here's the thing, though. It's not him yet. It's pending. The deal is done. Owners got the deal done. GM's got the deal done. It's pending a physical and pending Russ giving it the okay. If you're Russ, are you giving it the okay?
Yeah, I'm getting the heck out of
path to the Super Bowl is not easier
the most
over there.
He's had on the team since he's been in the league. I'm definitely giving that an okay.
I'm gone.
Here's the thing you're also thinking. Entirely new coaching staff being put in place. You have no idea if your head coach can coach. This is a brand new coach that's in the building. This is the Packers OC. And why can't I think of his name right now? It's not Luke Getsy. We got him. That was the quarterback's coach. I can't think of his name.
I know who you're trying to say, though.
Yeah.
I know who you're trying to say.
You've got an entirely new coaching staff in the building, entirely new DC. It's not Vic over there coaching the defense anymore. Entirely new DC in there. You don't know how that adjustment's going to be. We here in Chicago know exactly how changing a DC can change how your defense looks. Like, that's an entirely new thing over there. Does Russell Wilson give it the, let's go through with it? Even with the Hall coming back, or does he say, nah, dog, I'm not going to a brand new situation? Nathaniel Hackett. Yeah, that's why I couldn't remember. That man got a name like he cut wood in the forest, dog.
He probably does.
Nathaniel Hackett.
He was working with Green Bay. He probably does. Listen, I tell you the truth. We have to start considering the fact that happiness is a thing. What did Russ want? He wanted a little more autonomy within his role.
Yeah.
He wanted his opinion actually mean something. He is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He is a legendary quarterback. People just keep disrespecting.
Yeah.
People don't understand. He did do something that doesn't normally get done early in his career. Yeah. And he's been a pretty freaking good quarterback. Even injured, he put up pretty freaking good numbers.
You call one audible and you got 2 Super Bowl rings.
He didn't call that play, but you know what? He should. I bet you he won't be in that situation again.
You call one audible.
If he gets on the first yard line on the for a Super Bowl, I bet you he run it himself if he has to. All I'm saying is this: when I tell people, he was like, "Well, Sierra's not gonna do this." Sierra doesn't have a say in that decision. It's not just about her. That man's life is not predicated on Sierra. He has his own thing to play for. Like. Yeah, if it was all about Sierra, he'd be going to New York. He'd try to fight his way to LA. Like, let's be realistic about it. He still has to live his own life. He has to be in a situation where he's comfortable and happy and have the chance to win. Denver did give him that best opportunity outside of where he was.
You're absolutely right about that too, because the main thing he talked about is, I'm trying to be competitive again. That was the main thing he talked about. Now, I'm not gonna lie, going to the I don't like it, but I don't see any other better option. It's just not now that the AFC is clear cut, so much clear cut better than the NFC now. It's ridiculous.
Here's the thing: if you're willing to go, which I'm very fine with, easier path for me to get to the Super Bowl. If you're clear cut, okay with going to a city that now I don't know nothing about Denver. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if it's lit or not. But if you're clear cut, okay, going to a city that's blah. There's 2 better teams that you could have gone to that have established head coaches that are already have their system in place and ready to go. You could have gone to the Colts or you could have gone to the Steelers. both of which have better weapons than Denver has, both of which have better offensive lines than Denver has, both of which you're going into absolutely being the man. You know what I'm saying? And
Mike Tomlin has his thing on a string, and we give him respect for being Mike Tomlin, but Mike Tomlin has his organization on a string. Mike Tomlin knows what he's doing, and I respect Mike. This is not a knock on Mike, but Mike has his own system of way he wants to do things, and you have to give him credit for it.
Yeah,
Ben worked within that offense toward the later ends of his career, and that just is what it is. I think Denver is going to, for one, John Elway's presence and stuff like that. They're going to have a level of connection that obviously he just can't connect with Mike Tomlin on. Mike was never at that level of a professional, or he's not a QB. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not trying to clown the man. That's a different level of connection. He's going to be in the realm of a legendary QB to absolutely, progress his career. I think for what fits him, his style, and what I get the sense of who Russell is, that's the best situation. Could there be a better fit? Sure, I give you that if you just look at the paper of it. But you look at the personalities and stuff involved, Denver is like a right fit. Like when you say Russell Wilson and you say Denver, it kind of like you can see it. You see it easily. When you say Russell Wilson and Steelers, right? You don't really get that edge from it. Like it's
we can see it. The question is, does Russ see it? You know what I'm saying? We still haven't, like I said, we still haven't gotten the okay that Russell Wilson has said, yeah, no, let's go to Denver.
Drew Lock has been traded to Seattle as part of the Russell Wilson deal.
Okay, that sounds terrible. Drew Lock could have been traded anywhere. It doesn't matter. But you know what? Like I want to see this.
Y'all talked about Aaron Rodgers getting his $200 million.
Yeah, we already did that.
Yeah, no, we did that.
What the fuck is going on over there?
Hey man, they brought that man back. What you want me to do?
What is that? What are they doing, dog?
They brought that man back. What you want
them to do? Why they draft this dude to sit him on the pine for 7 years?
Because they realized
that kid ain't gonna be ready for nothing at the end of this
7 years. He ain't gonna be on that team probably after this season because it's the end of his contract too.
Hey, they gotta have somebody.
Jordan Love doesn't need to happen.
No, they gotta have somebody. And the kid apparently ain't ready.
You just go,
which I think is egregious for people to say if we ain't really got a chance to see him. Let him play 2-3 games and then we can say he ain't ready. But I mean, clearly,
but that's what I was telling. That's what I was telling Baki though, because you got to remember, Brett Favre retired and unretired like 3 times. Aaron Rodgers sat on the bench for 3 years.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers legitimately had to deal with Brett. Hey, that's why Aaron on this. I ain't mad at him.
Aaron is being the pettiest part. Listen,
shout to him for absolutely being petty.
He got 100.
Absolutely being petty.
He got 153 million guaranteed.
Hey, I'll be back too. And he structured his contract so they can re-sign Devontae Adams to a long-term deal. I'll be back too.
Shout out to Baki for making that call though. He did say that he thought he was gonna stay.
Oh man, appreciate y'all for showing love, tuning in and rocking with us, man. It's gonna be.
Are we really about to drop off right now?
Yeah,
bro, it's about to be 2 hours. You did this last time.
It was a 10-minute over. I mean, breaking news just dropped 10 minutes ago.
Man. Appreciate y'all for showing love as always, man. A lot of news breaking at the very end. A lot of news breaking at the very end.
They try to make it seem like I'm the crazy one. It's breaking news. The people want to hear it. It gets the people going. What are we talking about here?
As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer, joined by the man formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan the Dine, and of course, pettiest man alive, Mr. P. Kid. Y'all stay safe out there, man.